today. More than 50 boats in all entered in this West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. Many spectators along the beach are getting ready for this race. There is smoke and gun. Taking a parade lap, smoke and gun. You can see the size of the waves there. But no problem. Looks like we are going to get this race on. More boats there taking a parade lap. More competitors. And in this morning's race, we'll have the Factory 1, the A and the B, and the EFI class, as well as local. Of course, this afternoon's race will have the remainder of the classes. And you can see those waves there. Which have no problem. There he is, Dramamine. And we are in the milling area right now. Very shortly we will begin the lineup. We see many of the boats now beginning to follow the pace boat, leaving the milling area alongside their many spectator boats. And you can see awaiting the beginning of this race. There's a Stainless Express and Stainless Marine right behind. We're going to the A and B start. There's Nemshop on the far outside. Also Showdown. Boats going out. We should say that those number of laps have been shortened by half in this race because of Hurricane Dennis. With the major ground swells that we see now are not slowing boats down at all. All right, just a few moments away from the beginning of this race. Stainless Express there, you can see a black boat. First for a boat out there. Got Showdown and Nemshop, of course, Stainless Marine. Just a few moments away from the green flag as we await this race here in West Palm Beach. And we've got a green flag now. This A and B start of this 1999 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. There is Nemshop on the outside, and we got Showdown on the inside. Showdown is a 30-foot Phantom powered by 700 horsepower Blue Thunder Marine inboard. The driver is Brett Hayes. Throttle is Alba Hayes. They are from Miami, Florida. All right, now as you look at the leader, there is Extreme Stainless, a 29-foot Extreme, powered by 700 horsepower Blue Thunder Speedmaster drives. Driver is Rob Submano. Driver is Rick Trubel. Lots of sponsors. Special thanks to local sponsors, including Days Inn and Singer Island. Also, My Martini Grill in West Palm Beach. Dollar Marine. Also, Extreme Powerboats. Stainless Marine. Jerry Schmidt, Alan Brown. Also, Blue Thunder Engines. Gafford Precision. Hard Custom Marine. There is Nemshop on the outside, going by Nemshop. Also, BAM, sponsor, Red Racing Valves. And special thanks to the Turmel family and all of our family and friends, of course. Also, Debbie License and Public Relations. The team Debbie License, Race Director for Holiday Isle, along with Oprah, would like to invite everyone to come down to the Holiday Isle race October 8th through 11th for lots of fun. An exciting weekend, of course, for a great luau. That's the Holiday Isle race October 8th through 11th, and of course, Blue Spring Video will be there. All right, the early moments of this race is 1 and 2. Nemshop and Extreme Stainless. First and second. Going around the turn, Extreme Stainless. 29-foot Extreme. All right, looking downfield now, some of the other competitors coming up. There we see Showdown in that field. Showdown, a 30-foot Phantom, powered by 700 horsepower Blue Thunder inboard with a Mercury drive. Brett Hayes, the driver. Alba Hayes, the throttle man. They're from Miami, Florida. Showdown. Miami Tropical Bonsai Forest, sponsor of Showdown. One-stop shop for all your bonsai needs. Largest bonsai dealer in the U.S. From man-made to material size bonsai trees. Call 1-800-777-0027. Also, special thanks to Blue Thunder Racing Engines. Phantom Racing Code for maintaining the world's A-class record in the USA. There's Dramamine on the outside. Number one in B-class on the inside. It's Showdown in Offshore A. Dramamine on the outside, Showdown on the inside. Also special thanks to the crew, Showdown crew for the handgrip of Mercy 14 covering everything that was needed. Also George and Sherry from Olympic Racing, Len Hayes, Benton, and all of the people that follow the team throughout the circuit. Top of the back, Showdown, 30-foot tackle. Dramamine going around the turn. Dramamine, the 38-foot tackle. All right, we're going to go with Dramamine now. Instead of 38-foot tackle, powered by two 700 horsepower Mercury inboard Skip Harris, driver Bruce Sperling, the throttle man. Dramamine currently in second place, the national point standing civilly in first place. In Offshore B. Dramamine, 38-foot tackle. Dramamine currently in second place, the national point standing civilly in first place in Offshore B. Local sponsors of Dramamine include Dramamine for Rogaine, Offshore Powerboat, and Jiffy Lube, among others. There's Extreme Stainless, a nice jump for Extreme Stainless on the inside. And Dramamine is on the outside, going by a little bit. There's some spectator boats in the background. Four sponsors of Dramamine, as we said, Jiffy Lube is one of them. Also, Neil Trunken Automotive, Oasis Whirlpool Bats, Mountain Valley Water, Napa Racing Coolers, and Valvoline. Sponsors for Dramamine currently in first place in Offshore B. We said second place in the national point standings in class. Dramamine with Jeff Harris and Bruce Sperling aboard. A 38-foot fountain trickle back hill. Once again, there's Extreme Stainless on the inside. Extreme Stainless. All right, now we're going to go with Equalizer, a 30-foot Phantom powered by one 700 horsepower Mercury inboard with Speedmaster Drive. Tim Harvey, the driver. John Moss, the throttle man. Currently in second place for national point standing in Offshore A, and in third place right now here in the Equalizer A99. The owner is Michael Dodd. Trying to hear this race. Richard Martin, John Moss, driver, throttle man. A fine job for him aboard Equalizer, a 30-foot tank. As we said, in second place for national point standing. Other competitors, Offshore A, Netshop, Extreme Stainless, Showdown, and No Fun. They've got this race off despite impact from Hurricane Dennis. There is famous green out of the race on the inside. Famous green out of the race. West Palm Beach coastline there. You're watching the 1999 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. And of course, we should mention that this race is not for broadcast and only for free-frame video clients. All right, we're going to go now with Bud Offshore Eagle, a 38-foot velocity, powered by two 650 horsepower Thunderstreak engines with Bravo drives, V66. David Murphy is the driver, Bob Callahan, the throttleman, Don Nevis, the navigator. Bud Offshore Eagle. The sponsors for this boat include Budweiser, King of Beers, Gold Coast Eagle Distributors in Sarasota, Titan Motorcycles, Callahan Motorsports, Bob Rizzi Plumbing, Arlen Enterprises, Thunderstruck Race Engines, Extreme Graphics. Also special thanks to the team members and everyone also involved in this boat here for this 1999 racing season. In first place right now, local class also took a first place in Sarasota. Bud Offshore Eagle. .38-foot velocity. David Murphy, Bob Callahan, and Don Nevis aboard, all from Sarasota. Lots of spectator boats in the background. Laps have been shortened in half in this race because of the effects of Hurricane Dennis. But so far, everything's just fine. This race is very raceable. Here we're going to go now with Smoke and Gun. A 28-foot man powered by two 650 horsepower Blue Thunder inboards with Bravo 1 drives. Michael Humpton, the driver, Jesse, the throttle man, Louis Barnes is the navigator. Special thanks to MED Group, Germany, and Big J. Under Green, Sarasota, your #1 Baja dealer. Also, Blue Thunder Racing Engines from Fort Lauderdale. Terminal, Jeff Dean on throttle, and Michael Humpton, the driver. Louis Barnes, the navigator. This boat took a first place in Fort Myers, a second place in Sarasota, and currently is in second place right here in West Palm Beach. Smoke and Gun, 28-foot man. Round of two. Michael Humpton, the owner, Tom Butcher. Just listen to those Blue Thunder inboards. L42. All right, now let's go with TravelNon.com, a 28-foot Pantera powered by one 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. B.J. Mayer is the driver. Joe Nunez is the throttle man. Special thanks to Mercury Racing TNT Custom Rigging. Now, Joe Nunez is the second-generation racer. He's the son of Pepe Nunez, who was national champion in 1979. And his dad raced this same hull powered by triple Mercury outboards. And also with this boat, in 1980, became the European champion. TravelNon.com. #1 right now in Factory One. TravelNon.com. Gate driving there by B.J. Mayer, Throttle-man Joe Nunez. Your leader in Factory 1. Other competitors in Factory 1 include Ultimate Warlock, Odie, Eraser, Freedom Offshore Racing, Stressed Out, and Hollis Motorsports. Your leader in Factory 1. TravelNon.com. 28-foot Pantera. All right, Ultimate Warlock F-126, a 29-foot Warlock powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Andrew Biddle is the driver. Throttle-man is Lance Hendrickson. F-126 Ultimate Warlock in a battle here for first place with TravelNon.com in Factory 1 class. This boat took a third place in Chesapeake, a second in Sarasota, and is currently in second place here in West Palm Beach. Battle first with TravelNon.com. Now, this boat is maintained by Ray's Tennis Performance Marine in Huntington, Pennsylvania. It's a high-performance shop which rigs and maintains inboard and outboard boats, racing as well as collector boats. In second place right now in Factory 1, Ultimate Warlock. Andrew Biddle and Lance Hendrickson aboard, 29-foot Warlock. Wake of TravelNon.com. There it is. So you can see how tight this battle is here between these two boats. TravelNon.com and Ultimate Warlock in Factory 1. Round the turn. Watching the 1999 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. All right, here's another Warlock F-149 Eraser, 28-foot Ultimate Warlock. It's powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard. Mike Milligan is the driver. Steve Wessinger is the throttle-man. Steve's also the owner of Eraser. Now, the boat is currently in third place in the national point standings behind Hollis Motorsports and Odie. Once again, in third place in the national point standings. Crew members include David Milligan, Greg Salome, Walt Fair, and Lauren Wessinger. Turn there. Eraser. This boat took a first place in Corpus Christi earlier this year. Mike Milligan and Steve Wessinger. They're from Waco, Texas. jump there by your racer. You see those tremendous ground swells there once in a while, and no problem for these racers. All right, there in the distance is Marine Interest E10 in the new EFI class. Marine Interest, a 24-foot velocity powered by one 500 EFI fuel-injected engine for cruiser drive. Joel Ross is the driver for this race. Scott McCormick is the throttle man. Joel Ross is the owner of Velociraptor, which took a checkered flag in a race in North Carolina last week. And this boat, Marine Interest, has gotten a checkered flag in every race that it's entered this year, including Fort Myers and Sarasota. Marine Interest. Pumpit is the other competitor in this fight. There you can see the ground swells. Effects of hurricane depths. Joel Ross and Scott McCormick aboard. There's an onboard camera on board Marine Interest. Great ride here aboard Marine Interest. You get a real point of view from the cockpit. 7 onboard cameras for freeze-frame video during this race. This is what it looks like from the driver's seat. All right, back to helicopter shot. Marine Interest, E10. Number 1 in EFI class. Pumpit, your other competitor in that class. Spectator boats in the background. Nice jump there by Marine Interest. Once again, our onboard shot. is Eraser up ahead. Eraser. And Freedom Offshore Racing. Eraser on the outside, Freedom Offshore Racing on the inside. And we're going to go with Freedom Offshore Racing F-146, a 25-foot Corsa. It's powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard. Lynn Taylor, the driver. Peter Dorner is the throttleman. Peter Dorner, also the owner of Freedom Offshore Racing. Sponsors include Nisley Homes, Florida's premier custom builder, Weber Manufacturing, Chris McDevitt of Remax Properties, Bruce Beard, Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Aurora Boat Care Products, Berlin Science, and Gulf Water Marine. Freedom Offshore Racing is an operation committed to excellence. The team enjoys the competitive excitement that factory class racing brings to the fans all over the country. Nice driving there by Lynn Taylor from Nokomis, Florida. In Factory 1, there's Hollis Motorsports, a 26-foot four-lock powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard Mercury drive. Brian Hollis is the driver. Throttleman is Brian Kenny. Hollis Motorsports has just signed on a corporate sponsor, Ivana Communications. Ivana has agreed to dedicate its support for the remainder of the 99 season, looking to sponsor the team for the year 2000. Now, Chris Tech website design is also a new sponsor. Propco is a new sponsor. Thank you, Peter Dean. And Richard Granville is the CEO and is also running a new 32-foot Warlock in Factory 2. By the way, this team is up for Rookie of the Year. And they are leading in APBA Southeast and Okra points. And Hollis Motorsports will have the opening of a new high-performance superstore in January. They'll carry Simpson Racing products. Hollis Motorsports, F-196. Is Extreme Stainless going by in second place in Offshore A. Extreme Stainless. Meanwhile, Hollis Motorsports in Factory 1. All right, there's F-106 Odie, a 24-foot Corsa powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard. The driver is Mark Marsh, throttleman Steve Miklos. Miklos, the owner of Odie F-106. Sponsors include Odie, ABI, Questa Race Cigars, Parker Hose, and Promise Business Solutions. Currently in third place in Factory 1. First place is Ultimate Warlock Travelnaught.com. In second, Odie in third. And in fourth, Eraser. Crew chief is Gary DeSoucies, team manager Ernie Pollack. And crew members include Ron Welch, Tony Solano, Mike Johns, and Charlie White. Top of the pack for Odie. There's TravelNow.com, F128 in second place in Factory 1. Of course, Ultimate Warlock in the first place, Odie in third. TravelNow.com, a 28-foot Pantera powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard. BJ Mayer is the driver. Joe Nunez is the throttle man. BJ, the owner of this 28-footer. The lead has been changing back and forth between TravelNow.com and Ultimate Warlock the whole race. Pretty exciting competition here at Factory 1. TravelNow.com. Great competition here in Factory 1 class. As we said, TravelNow.com and Ultimate Warlock have been exchanging the leads here in this class all day. Odie in third place. And a racer in fourth. There's BJ Mayer and Joe Nunez. Stressed out F118, a 29-foot-pound powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Tom Etheridge, the driver. Scott Kessler is the throttle man. Tom is from Siesta Key, Florida. Scott from East Stage, Pennsylvania. Stressed out F118. Stressed out racing team. Would like to give a special thanks to Mastery Engine Center and Nancy Pappas. Stressed out a 29-foot-pound. Stressed out racing team has gotten a couple of checkered flags in this 1999 racing season. Impressive year for Stressed Out. This is the last boat that we'll be covering for you in this first race. In the morning's race, of course, we'll have the afternoon's race coming up. And then we'll have the final results for both races after the second race. There you can see the major groundswells as a result of Hurricane Dennis. Very impressive, but not slowing these racers down. And that is it. That is the end of the first race, this morning's race, where we have the A, the B, the EFI, Factory 1, and local class. And the winners are in Offshore B, Dramamine, also Nemshaw Sports, the first place finish in Offshore A, and the EFI, brand new category with Marine Interest in first place. And in Factory 1, Ultimate Warlock and Budweiser in local class. Those are your winners in this West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. Now let's get ready to cover this afternoon's race. That's the second race of this weekend festival of racing. In offshore, Super V, in open, in the modified, in the Pro Stock, Super Stock, Factory 2, and Factory 3. exciting racing ahead. Once again, there you see some ground swells as a result of Hurricane Dennis, but we got the first race off and expect to get this afternoon's race off as well. These waters offshore are rocking and rolling, but are not posing a problem at this point. This is the parade lap for this afternoon's race. Here's MAB Paints. Snapper head. And Awesome on the outside. There's CGS Ferocious in Supercat. Once again, major ground swells here, as you can see. There's Pratco and Cigarettes right on the outside. Around the turn. They are still doing the parade lap. All right, Cigarette F248. It's a Cigarette powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury imports with Mercruiser drives. Eric Colby is the driver. Trish Martin is the throttle man. It's coming off of two checkered flags, SBI Key West and Deerfield. That's Pratco right there. Pratco. All right, back to Cigarette now. Cigarette is in Factory 2 class. Eric Colby, the driver formerly of Powerboat Magazine, and Trace Martin is the throttle man from Fort Lauderdale. There's Pepsi 1 going by on the outside. Pepsi 1. We're going to go with Sip and Shine now. 29-foot skater powered by two 2.5 EFIs. Joe Black is the driver. Paul Whittier is the throttle man. This is Super Stock Citrus Shine S1. Going right over those ground swells. There we go. Nice jump. There you can see those ground swells. The highs and the lows pretty clearly. Joe Black and Paul Whittier aboard Citrus Shine. This is, of course, the parade lap. There is Prime Buster. Prime Buster welcomes a new sponsor, Boat Lock. Locks up the propeller and outdrive presenting Boat Lock. There's Team Havana Racing, 30-foot Warlock, Richard Granville, the driver. Joseph Camacho is the throttle man. Team Havana Racing. Freeze Frame Video likes to wish them the best of luck. Team Havana. And now we're heading towards the milling area. As you can see, we are airborne, and boats are going to start getting ready for this afternoon race, this second race of this weekend festival here at the West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. And we're going to go with the open Super B, and there go the boats beginning to line up behind the face boat, the modified, the Pro Stock, the Super Stock, Factory 2, and Factory 3. And there go the boats, but we are going to have the first start, which is the Super B, the open, and the modified. And there go Drambuie, Team Pepsi, and CGS Ferocious. And coming into the picture, we've got Pier 57 Fountain, and also Out of Bound coming up as well. And Ocean Spray is on the far outside. So Drambuie, Team Pepsi, CGS Ferocious, Out of Bounds, Pier 57 Fountain, and ocean spray. And we've got a green flag now this afternoon race here in this West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. And it's Pepsi 1 and Fountain going to the immediate lead in the early moments with Drambuie on ice on the far outside. It's Pepsi 1 and Fountain and Drambuie, your early leaders in this race. Pepsi 1, Drambuie, and Fountain. They be found on the inside. And we're going to go with the leaders. There's Pepsi 1 and Drambuie on us on the outside. Ah, beautiful jump, Pepsi 1. Nice jump. We're going to go with Pepsi 1. It's a 40-foot skater powered by two 800-horsepower Hawk inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. Jody Panorano is the driver. Charlie Hames is the throttle man. Pepsi 1 leads in the modified points for SBI and took a checkered flag in Miami and Sarasota earlier this year. There's Drambuie on ice on the outside. Drambuie on ice. Powered by two 900-horsepower inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. We've got David McIntyre. He's the driver today. And John Tomlinson is the throttle man. Forrest Barber, the owner of Drambuie on ice. 45-foot skate. There's Pepsi 1 in the modified. Your leader in this race. Pepsi 1 would like to give special thanks to Michelle May for public relations. Drambuie on ice in open class on the outside. Battle here between these two boats, though they are in different classes. Open and the modified. Drambuie and Pepsi 1 on the inside. Now Drambuie is your leader in this race. Great driving there by David McIntyre. John Tomlinson, the throttle man. Of course, Grease Brain Video Productions would like to give a special thanks to the Drambuie on Ice race team for taking our equipment to this race. Great battle here between these two boats. Pepsi 1 and Drambuie on ice. Around the turn. Drambuie and Pepsi 1 continue their battle. Drambuie in the lead, Pepsi 1 not too far behind. Joe Padavato and Charlie Hames. Drambuie first overall. Drambuie first overall in this race. Pepsi 1 first in the modified. Round 12, but smoking no problem. All right, we're going to go now with Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray, a 42-foot fountain, powered by two 1,200 horsepower mount inboards with Mercury drive. Bruce Penhall, the driver, Dennis Scholars, the bottleneck. Racing, the owner of Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray sponsors include Ocean Spray, Marine, Ocean Company, Bruce Penhall Company, Penn's Oil, and Penhall Optical. Ocean Spray. Bruce Penhall and Dennis Segal doing a fine job. Bruce, the driver, Dennis, the throttle man. They're hauling around here. Offshore in West Palm Beach. All right, there's Pier 57 Fountain. A great battle here at Super Beach between these two boats. Pier 57 Fountain and Ocean Spray on the outside. Pier 57 Fountain is a 39-foot fountain powered by two 1,000 horsepower Mercury inboards with Mercury drives. Jeff Harrison, the driver, Art Lewis is the throttle man, and David Woods is the owner of Pier 57 Fountain. Crew members include Fred Dull, Luke Dickey, and James Gadsden. Great competition in Super B class right now between Pier 57 Fountain and Ocean Spray. B-76. Pier 57 Fountain is first in points in Super League for the year. Here's Ocean Spray right behind. Not too much room between these two boats. There's the West Palm Beach skyline. Sun shining up here. This is very late in the day, and we did manage to get this race off despite some respect around 12 or 10. MAB Paints in Factory 2, F230. It's a 38-foot Nortec powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. Troy Hannon is the throttle man. Fresh Firstman is the driver. Randy Firstman is the navigator. Bannis Apple Racing, the owner of MAB Paints, F230. MAB Paints is the main sponsor for this boat. Special thanks to Bobby Moore Custom Marine. Took a second place, by the way, in Deerfield earlier this year and finished very well in Sarasota as well this season. MAB Paints, F230. In Factory 2 class. Going around the turn. There's Awesome and MAB Paints. There is also Fountain going around the turn. A lot of competitors in Factory 2. In addition to what you just saw, we've got Team of Honor Racing, at Football Motorsports, Napperhead Offshore, Cigarette, Fountain, Wellcraft, Scarab, and 12 competitors in all. It's Fresh Firstman, Troy Hannon, and Randy Firstman. We get an onboard camera shot of the crew of MAB Paints. There's Mastery Engine Center on the outside. Great job, Greg, Bert, the driver, Leo, Grant, the front man, Randy. Listen to that. It's Berkeley engine. 2,500 horsepower to power. Back for a helicopter shot. F-230 MAB pace. Top of the pack, factory 2. All right, looking up ahead now, there we see Team Suffin in Factory 2. As we get a little closer, I'll tell you that Team Suffin is the 34-foot Suffin, powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. And Brian Kirby, the driver, Doug Lewis, the throttle man, Neil Kirby, is the navigator of the Suffin, the owner of this 34-foot. F21, Team Suffin took a second place in the Reggie Fountains race in North Carolina the other week. And right now, we believe lead the Golden Cup Series. Team Suffin. Now we're going to move to the leaders. Move to the leaders in Factory 2. And if we get a little bit closer there, we see Snapperhead and Awesome on the outside. And Team Pepsi. Snapperhead, Team Pepsi, and Awesome. We're going to go with Snapperhead as we see this great battle here in Factory 2. Snapperhead off to a 34-foot tandem powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. First cruiser drives, Tony the driver, Steve Gross, the throttle man, and Roger Robinson is the navigator. Snapperhead onshore. F-221, and there they are. Great battle in Factory 2. Sponsors for Atlas Services, Bannon Boats, and Maritime Boat Charter. Number one right now is Factory 2. Snapperhead, and there on the outside is Awesome. Great battle between Awesome and Snapperhead. Battle for first place. Around the turn now, Snapperhead on the inside, Awesome on the outside. Awesome on the outside, keeping close. Great battle here. Mike Anderson and Rick Anderson aboard Awesome in Factory 2. 35-foot port. Awesome once again on the outside, and Snapperhead, of course. Great battle. As we said, in Awesome we have Mike Anderson, the driver, Rick Anderson, the throttle man, the 35-foot formula powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. Mercury drives. Rick Anderson is the owner of the 35-foot formula. Awesome. F-277. Brand new team this year and has run very well in every race that is entered in this 1999 racing season. Over the groundswell spot by Hurricane Dennis. Top of the pack in Factory 2. Awesome. There they are. Anderson, Orlando, Florida, right from there's Ocean Spray on the outside and Super V. Ocean Spray of 42 foot pounds. As we look at Awesome on the inside. And the West Palm Beach skyline in the background. There's Awesome. But let's go with Ocean Spray, a 42 foot down, powered by two 1,200 horsepower, 12 invoice Mercury drive. Channel driver Dennis Gallos is the throttle man. And once again, this sponsor is Ocean Spray. Rex Marine, Orange Company Food, and also Defense Oil and all oil. Ocean Spray. Nice jump there by Ocean Spray. Rocking and rolling here offshore, West Palm Beach. Hurricane Dennis has made it. Around the turn, Ocean Spray. Richmond Hall and Dennis to come. All right, there is Ocean Spray on the outside, Hooters on the inside. Hooters a 30-foot Lightning, powered by 3.2.5 EFIs. Steve Page aboard. He is the driver. Joey Bratton is the throttle man. A little bit closer. Hooters, P1, lots of sponsors for this team. Hooters. Sponsors include, of course, Hooters, the main sponsor, Adidas Equipment, Caswell Superplane, Total World Class Lubricants, Brakes, Marine Services, Ferguson Enterprises, Kirkin Chrysler Plymouth, Graphics, M&F Marine Machine, 99X, RUS Uniform Service, Wind, Quincy. Those are your sponsors for the Hooters racing team in Prostock. In first place right now in that class. Also first in the national point standing in Prostock, first stock in the 1999 race season. Hooters. Hooters, of course, being P1 tells you that they were your 1998 national champion in Prostock. Hooters. Page and Joey Bratton, driver and throttle man for the 30-foot flight. There's Nemshoff on the outside. Nemshoff. Third place in Supervic. Nemshoff on the outside, Hooters on the inside. Nice jump. Now we're going to go with Crime Buster. Crime Buster, 32-foot skater, powered by 3.2.5 EFIs. J.P. Kimes, the driver. Tack Kimes, the throttle man. Jim Kimes is the owner of Prime Buster. Pete Dan. Prime Buster. Endorsements include Uric Sunglasses, Prime Buster Inc., a security company, and of course the new sponsor this year is Boat Lock. Locks up the propeller and the outdrive, preventing theft on these boats. Boat Lock, unbreakable. Now, without protection, the propeller can be easily removed with a wrench, but Boat Lock locks the propeller to the outdrive and can also lock the outdrive to the hull. Boat Lock is virtually impossible to remove. And Boat Lock is both inboards and outboards. There is Snapperhead on the inside. Your leader at Factory 2. Snapperhead turn right around the buoy. Prime Buster on the outside. Snapperhead, your leader in Factory 2 on the inside. We're going to stay with Prime Buster. J.P. Kimes and Ted Kimes doing a fine job. First time here. There's 32 foot skate. Powered by 3.2.5 VFI. Nice jump. Prime Buster. There's CGS Ferocious with 39-foot velocity, powered by two 1,050 horsepower Kellner engineering engines. With Mercury drives, Neville Mobile is the driver. Joe Butters is the throttle man. L.B. Austin is the method. Now the Ferocious Racing Team would like to thank their local sponsors, including Comfort Inn, Palm Beach Lakes, and Thrifty Car Rental. Our other sponsors include, of course, CGS Division of Commercial Grinding Service, Cleveland, Ohio, a manufacturer of carbide rotary tools. We've got Bansteel Hydro Carbide, also Anka Inc., Russell Ritterberg, over in Farmington Hills, Michigan. World-renowned manufacturer of CNC tools and sputter grinders. Also Tiger Fiberglass, Kellner Engineering, and Spark Plug, Weldon Pump, Lincoln Electric Company, and Crown Future. CGS Ferocious. 39-foot velocity, Neville Mobley, Joe Butters, and L.B. Austin. It's super big. The crew chief is Leo Leonard, public relations is Patty Butters. Crew members include Bill Fulgenzi, Senior, Steve Wagner, Jason Schraber, Paul and Janine Vargo, Crystal Mobley, and Karen. There's Team Cigarette. It's a cigarette powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards with Mercury drives. Eric Kilby is the driver. Trish Martin is the throttle man. This boat usually runs in the SPI circuit, won 2 checkered flags in a row. Key West and Deerfield Beach. Of course, video. Folks have seen this boat run in New York City. We'll be there. New York City race coming up. Cigarette F248. Eric Dolby, the driver, of course, formerly of Powerboat magazine. You're watching the 1999 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge. As you can see, those big groundswells are there in the background. They have not been slowing down these boats. These boats have been maneuvering around them. No problem slowing. Top of the pack in Factory 2 is Team Signal. Boats and all in Factory 2 entered. A lot of competition in Factory 2. Spectator boats in the background. There he is, Team Sutphin on the outside. Team Sutphin. Ryan Kirby aboard Team Sutphin. He's the driver. Doug Lewis is the throttle man. Neil Kirby is the navigator on board this 34-foot Sutphin, powered by two 500-horsepower Mercury inboards. Took a second place in Reggie Fountain's race in North Carolina the other week. And we lead the Gold Cup Series at this point. Team Sutphin. Grand Buoy on ice is going by. Grand Buoy on ice in open fire. Also ran very well in Deerfield Beach. Nice jump there by Team Sutphin. Kirby, Doug Lewis, and Neil Kirby aboard 34-foot Sutphin. This is 1998 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge winding down now to the most left in this race. And now we're going to go with Citrus Shine. Citrus Shine is a 28-foot skater powered by 6.5 APIs. Joe Black, the driver. Paul Whittier, the throttle man. S1 Citrus Shine, your national champion superstock for 1998. Currently in this 1999 racing season, is first in points. Citrus Shine, go back the owner. 29 skater. Skyline Construction and Gotcha. Nice throttling there by Paul Whittier. Whitefish, Montana. Back shot there with an onboard camera. 7 onboards in this race, provided by Free Screen Video Production. Back to the helicopter shot, Sydney shot. S1. On board now. Joe Black, Paul Whittier. This is Joe Black. Kelly and Gary Ballou. That's the boat to the zone, and Gary's also from the zone. Doing a fine job aboard Front Cove. In second place in Superstock. And this will be the last boat that we'll be covering for you. And afterwards, we'll give you the final results of this afternoon's race, and also we'll recap the winners in the morning. Ground swells here, but causing no problem. Well, that's it. That's the end of this 1999 West Palm Beach Offshore Challenge, and it is history. It is in the history books. Exciting competition, great racing here on the West Palm Beach Offshore. There we see some checkered flags, and some of the boats, some of the winners. We got Citrus Shine, Hooters, and Snapperhead, all with checkered flags. And have a rundown of details of the winners in just a moment. In the meantime, there's a little bit of the West Palm Beach shore and skyline for you. Great racing, great competition. We did have the race shortened somewhat because of Hurricane Dennis, but we really did have no problem whatsoever, though. We did see some of these ground swells during the race. The racing team were able to maneuver around no problem. We see, of course, the beach, and a great day for racing here. Great weekend festival. The West Palm Beach Offshore Grand Prix. There you see some swimmers. Waves coming in. All right, let's go to open class, we've got Grand Buoy on ice. Your winner getting the checkered flag in first place in open class, Grand Buoy on ice. There's Grand Buoy on ice racing team. Well-deserved checkered flag in the modified. Pepsi one on top in first place, followed by Out of Bounds in second. Can do in third, but Pepsi won all the way in the modified, getting a checkered flag. Pepsi won. All right, now in Super B, it was Fountain all the way in first place, followed by Ocean Spray and Nebsham in third. Pier 57 Fountain getting a checkered flag. All right, in Superstock, Sip and Shine in first, followed by Prime Pro in second, and Para Broker bringing third. Sip and Shine in first place in Superstock. In Pro Outboard, it was Hooters getting the checkered flag, with Prime Buster bringing up second. Hooters getting a well-deserved first place in Pro Outboard. Hooters Racing Team and Factory 2 Snapper Head, which is up 4 in first place, followed by Cigarette and MAB Paints. Snapper Head, your winner. In Factory 1, Warlock getting the checkered flag, followed by TravelNow.com and Cody in third. Warlock in Factory 1, your winner. In B class, Dramamine and Sailor's Marine in second, followed by The Muscle. Dramamine, checkered flag on top of the class, Nemshaw first, followed by Extreme Stainless and Equalizer in third. Nemshaw in A class, number 1. Highly competitive racing machines. And in EFI class, it was E10. Velocity Marine Interest won every race it's entered this year. Marine Interest, your winner in the EFI class, a new class here in offshore racing. And the local class, Budweiser in first place, followed by Smoking Gun. So it's Budweiser, as you see right here, followed by Smoking Gun in second place. All right, it was rough racing, but Hurricane Dennis could not stop this event here in West Palm Beach, Florida. But most of all, it was safe racing and highly competitive. Now, before we go, there are a few people that we would like to thank. First off, Gary and Nancy Johnson for their fine camera work. Also, our helicopter pilot, Mr. Russell Kilpatrick. So, this is Mr. Lopari wishing you a fond farewell from West Palm Beach, Florida. Hoping to see you soon at the next SBI race in New York City. If not there, we'll see you in the Bahamas or in beautiful Isla Morada. Bye, everyone.